Introduction. Heaven summons you. Chosen one, slow down with me for a moment. Let your breathing settle. Let your spirit become quiet enough to feel what is happening beneath the surface. There is a gentle pull on you right now, something you didn't plan, but you can sense it. This moment is not ordinary. It carries weight, a kind of presence that doesn't show up without purpose. You didn't arrive here because you were bored or curious. Something much deeper brought you. You were guided. You were nudged in a way your mind didn't fully understand, but your spirit responded to. Heaven has been arranging little moments, aligning small details, preparing your heart for a word like this. For a long time, God has been watching you move through seasons that stretched you in ways others never saw. There were days when you carried heavy questions inside and kept walking anyway. There were moments when you held yourself together, even though you didn't feel strong. There were quiet nights when you searched for answers with a tired heart, yet something kept you from giving up. God noticed how you silently pushed forward, how you tried to stay grounded when uncertainty surrounded you, how you reached for Him even when you didn't know what to say. These hidden moments matter to Him. They shaped a strength inside you that you rarely acknowledge. They revealed a sincerity in you that heaven treasures, and they are part of the reason you're here right now. Chosen one, this moment is a divine invitation, a sacred pause where God leans closer and begins to reveal the version of you He has been forming all along. Not the version shaped by pressure or fear, not the version influenced by what people expected of you, but the version He designed with intention, long before life became complicated. There is something in you that has been stirring, sometimes gently, sometimes painfully. A quiet awareness that you are moving into a new season, even if you can't describe it yet. You feel different inside, more awake, more sensitive, more aware that something is shifting, that stirring is God's hand at work. Before we go deeper, I want to invite you to stay connected, not as a formality, but as a way of standing together with others who are on the same journey. There is a growing remnant stretching across nations, people who are awakening at the same time you are. When you like this message, when you subscribe, when you type the name of your city or country, you're not just supporting a video. You're stepping into a larger family, a spiritual community being raised for this hour. You are not going through this alone. Your story is not unfolding in isolation. There are others whose spirits are rising just like yours, and together you form something stronger than you could ever imagine. So take this moment to breathe, chosen one. Let your heart settle. Let the noise fall away, because heaven is ready to reveal who you are becoming. And the kind of person God has been shaping you into is far more extraordinary than you've ever allowed yourself to believe. Heaven's blueprint, the person God designed. Chosen one. Before you judge yourself through the lens of your past, pause and ask something deeper. Who did God imagine when He first thought of you? Not the version shaped by fear, or the version that learned to survive by shrinking. Not the version molded by rejection or the one who had to toughen up just to make it through certain seasons. Those layers didn't come from heaven. They came from wounds, from disappointments, from people who never saw your real value. from moments that forced you to become smaller or harder, just to keep going. But God has always seen you differently. He never once looked at you through the filter of your pain. He saw the blueprint, who you truly are beneath every defensive layer, beneath every fear, beneath every moment you doubted yourself. And even now, He is shaping you back into that original design. If you've been feeling pressure, if you've felt stretched or uncomfortable, it's because God has been preparing you for more. Some parts of your old life couldn't go with you into the next season, so He had to remove them gently, even when you didn't understand why certain things shifted or why certain people fell away. This hasn't been punishment. Far from it. It's been preparation. God has been building a steadiness in you, the kind that doesn't collapse under responsibility, the kind that can carry destiny without breaking under its weight. You've been growing in ways you haven't even recognized yet. There is a strength developing inside of you that is deeper than emotion, deeper than confidence, deeper than positive thinking. It's a strength forged in surrender, in obedience, in choosing God, even when it cost you something. Heaven's blueprint for you is not fragile. It's bold. It's mature. It's steady. God is shaping a person who can move through storms without losing their footing. Someone who can carry purpose without pride. Someone who can be trusted with influence without forgetting who made them. You may not see it yet, but heaven does. You're becoming someone God can rely on. Someone who listens. Someone who obeys. Someone who doesn't bend to pressure. Someone who stands even when the ground feels uneven. Chosen one, you are not being broken. You are being built. And the version of you that is emerging is far stronger, far clearer, and far more aligned with heaven than you've ever been before. Identity rediscovered. Who heaven says you are. Chosen one, before you were shaped by this world, you were known by God. Before you were held by any human hands, you were held by purpose. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." That means your identity didn't begin with your birth. It began in eternity. God placed something sacred inside you long before anyone had a chance to mislabel you. But life has a way of covering what's pure. Pain can bury certain truths. People can speak things over you that were never meant to attach to your soul. Experiences can distort the way you see yourself. And somewhere along the way, you may have begun to believe you were less than who heaven declared you to be. But now, God is removing those old labels. Not violently, not harshly, but gently, like someone peeling away the final layer that has been hiding something precious. He is clearing the fog around your identity. He's reminding your spirit of something your mind forgot. You were chosen long before you ever doubted it. Identity is where everything begins. When you remember who you are, the confusion that has been following you loses its grip. The fear that used to freeze you begins to break. The uncertainty that made you hesitate starts to fall away. Identity is not just information. It is spiritual clarity. It is the strength beneath your decisions, the courage behind your steps, the foundation under your purpose. Heaven wants you to step into an awareness of who you truly are. Not accidental, not replaceable, not insignificant, but intentional, necessary, and assigned. God placed something inside you that darkness has tried to dim for years. But what He put in you is waking up again. You are beginning to remember your worth, your calling, your belonging. You are starting to see the difference between who people said you were and who God always knew you were. Chosen one. Identity is not arrogance. Identity is alignment. When you know who you are, you stop fighting battles that aren't yours. You stop settling for roles that don't fit you. You stop accepting words that contradict heaven's voice. And something powerful happens. Courage begins to rise. Not loud courage, not forceful courage, but quiet, steady, deeply rooted courage that comes from finally knowing you were never meant to walk like a stranger in your own calling. This is the hour where God restores the truth about you. Growth, the proof that God is working in you. Chosen one. Transformation rarely begins with fireworks. Most of the time, it begins quietly, almost silently, inside places no one else can see. Romans 12:2 reminds us that we are transformed by the renewing of the mind, not by sudden perfection or instant change. You've been growing in ways you haven't fully recognized. There were seasons when God slowed you down, not to punish you, but to protect your development. There were moments that felt like endings, but were actually beginnings disguised as loss. There were days that felt empty, but they were making room for new wisdom, new focus, new strength. Your growth didn't shout, it whispered. You learned to pause before reacting. You learned to think deeper, listen longer, and move with more intention. You learned that not every invitation deserves your presence. Not every voice carries truth. Not every opportunity is meant for you. These shifts may have felt subtle, but they were signs that you were changing from within. God has also been teaching you how to guard your heart, not with walls, but with understanding. You became more aware of what drains you and what strengthens you. You started noticing when something felt off, even when you couldn't explain it. Your discernment sharpened quietly, like a blade being refined in secret. Growth often looks like choosing peace instead of proving a point. It looks like letting go of situations that no longer reflect who you're becoming. It looks like valuing your time, your energy, your purpose. Sometimes growth is painful. Sometimes it feels like standing between two versions of yourself. The one you used to be and the one you're stepping into. But that tension isn't failure. It's formation. Heaven has been shaping someone wiser, someone more self-aware, someone who sees spiritually instead of reacting emotionally. You've become more steady, more grounded, more aware of God's voice even when He speaks gently. Chosen one, you are not who you used to be. And even though you may not see the full transformation yet, heaven does. Your spiritual posture has shifted. Your heart has matured. Your soul is being refined for something bigger than your current surroundings. This growth is the evidence that God's hand has been on your life all along. Courage, the engine of your assignment. Chosen one, lean in a little more. There is something God has been trying to awaken inside you, something that has quietly struggled beneath fear, beneath hesitation, beneath the pressure to stay small. It's courage, not the loud, dramatic kind the world celebrates, but the kind heaven looks for. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's not confidence that never wavers. True courage is trust. It's the quiet yes you whisper to God when you don't feel ready. It's the step you take even when your legs are trembling. It's the willingness to move forward when you can't see the whole picture. God has placed an assignment on your life, and assignments always require courage. Not emotional courage, but spiritual courage. Courage that is born from the Holy Spirit within you. Courage that remembers God didn't give you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. There have been times when you felt like shrinking back, not because you lacked desire, but because the unknown felt intimidating. You've had ideas, dreams, visions, and longings that felt almost too large to touch. And maybe you questioned whether someone like you could carry something so significant. But hear this. The boldness you need is already inside you. It's been growing in the quiet corners of your life, in the places where you learn to depend on God instead of your own strength. Every season that humbled you, prepared you. Every challenge that forced you to cling to God, strengthened you. Every moment you survived when you thought you wouldn't, shaped you. Courage begins when you stop waiting to feel fearless. It begins the moment you decide, God, I will move because you're leading me, not because I feel brave. Courage means stepping into rooms you once avoided. It means embracing opportunities you once doubted you deserved. It means speaking when silence has kept you small for too long. It means trusting that God goes before you, stands beside you, and protects you as you walk into what He ordained. Chosen one, courage is becoming your rhythm now. Not the explosive kind, but the steady kind. The kind that keeps you moving even when the path curves. The kind that grows as you go. And as this courage rises, so will your assignment. Things you once feared will lose their power. Places that once intimidated you will feel familiar. Roles you once thought were meant for others will begin to feel like home. This is the courage God is building in you. Courage that becomes your engine. Courage that becomes your movement. Courage that becomes your yes. Walking with God daily. Chosen one. Let's slow the pace again, because this part matters deeply. God doesn't want to visit your life. He wants to walk with you. Not on the days when you feel holy, not only when you're searching for answers, not just when life becomes heavy. He wants a daily walk, a steady closeness, a quiet companionship that carries you through everything. John 15:5 reminds you that you are the branch, and He is the vine. That means your strength doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from staying connected. The more you abide, the more you grow. The more you lean in, the more you hear Him. The more you depend on His presence, the more stable your heart becomes. There is a version of you that God is calling forward, a version that doesn't panic the moment life shifts, a version that doesn't feel lost just because the next step is unclear, a version that isn't shaken by people's opinions or the unpredictability of your surroundings. That version of you comes from walking with Him daily. When you walk with God consistently, your heart becomes anchored in peace, your decisions become clearer, your reactions become softer, your inner world becomes quieter. The noise around you loses its power because your attention is fixed on one voice. This is what God desires for you. A life where your spirit stays open, where prayer feels natural, where you sense His nearness in ordinary moments. A life where His voice interrupts your thoughts with gentle direction. A life where you recognize His presence not just in miracles, but in morning sunlight, in quiet breaths, in silent strength that holds you together. Walking with God daily doesn't make life perfect. It makes you unshakable. It gives you wisdom that doesn't come from age. It gives you insight that doesn't come from experience. It gives you discernment that doesn't come from logic. It creates a steadiness others will notice without you saying a word. Chosen one, you've tasted moments of God's presence before, but now He wants to teach you what it means to stay there. Not visit occasionally, abide continually. This is where clarity lives. This is where purpose becomes recognizable. This is where strength is renewed without striving. He wants to walk with you, not behind you, not far ahead of you, with you. Character formed from the inside out. Chosen one, if God has taken you through a quiet season, it wasn't wasted. If things slowed down, if doors didn't open, if certain desires were delayed, it's because God was forming something inside you that couldn't be rushed. Before God expands your life outwardly, He strengthens you inwardly. Before He gives you more influence, He builds more integrity. Before He opens new assignments, He shapes the character to sustain them. Transformation begins in private, long before it becomes visible. It takes place in the decisions you make when no one is watching. It grows in the moments when you choose what's right, even when your emotions push you toward what's easy. It forms in the nights when your heart wants to break, but you choose to trust anyway. This inner work is sacred. It's slow. It's gentle. It's intentional. Your reactions are changing. Your patience is growing in places where you used to rush. Your compassion is deepening because of what you've survived. Your discipline is sharpening because God has been calling you into alignment. Your joy, your real joy, is beginning to return because heaviness no longer has the same grip on your soul. These shifts may not feel dramatic, but they are evidence that heaven has been working inside you. When God shapes your character, He prepares you to carry blessings without losing yourself. He prepares you to handle adversity without breaking. He prepares you to be trusted with influence without becoming prideful. He prepares you to walk with purpose without compromising your values. Chosen one, you are becoming someone who responds instead of reacts. Someone who can be calm in chaos. Someone who knows how to love even when it's difficult. Someone who carries peace into places where others carry pain. This is the transformation God values most. The kind that begins unseen, but reveals itself through who you are becoming. The world may not notice these changes yet, but heaven sees every step of your growth. Purpose: living as someone heaven can trust. Chosen one, there is a reason your journey has felt different from others. There is a reason you could never fully blend in, no matter how hard you tried. There is a reason your spirit reacted to certain environments, certain people, certain paths, even when your mind didn't understand why. Purpose has always been shaping you. Before you ever took your first breath, God wove intention into your existence. You were never meant to drift or wander without meaning. You were formed with a divine assignment stitched into your being, something heaven entrusted to you long before life taught you to doubt yourself. Ephesians 2:10 says, "You are God's workmanship, created for good works, prepared before you even lived a single day." That means your purpose did not begin when you discovered it. It began when God designed you. And now, slowly, steadily, your steps have been aligning with what He had in mind all along. Purpose does not always reveal itself with fireworks. Sometimes it awakens through discomfort. Sometimes it appears when old things stop working. Sometimes it surfaces in the ache that says, "There must be more than this." And that ache is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of calling. God has been refining you so that when your purpose unfolds fully, you will carry it with maturity, not overwhelm. He has been using your challenges to deepen your compassion. He has been using your delays to sharpen your discernment. He has been using your waiting seasons to strengthen your dependence on Him. Purpose isn't just about what you will accomplish. It's about who you become along the way. It's about being someone heaven can trust to influence, uplift, lead, and shine light wherever you go. And as this purpose becomes clearer, you will notice shifts in your spirit. You won't feel comfortable being who you used to be. You won't be drawn to the same distractions. You won't desire the places that once held your attention. Your spirit will start craving depth, truth, clarity, and alignment. This is the sign of someone who is stepping into purpose. Your presence will start to carry weight. Your words will begin to hold authority. Your obedience will affect more than your own life. It will shape the atmosphere around you. Chosen one, you are becoming someone whose very existence disrupts darkness, someone whose kindness softens hardened hearts, someone whose stability inspires others to seek God, someone who carries heaven's fragrance simply by being who God designed. This is purpose not as a task, but as a lifestyle, a way of living that reflects God's heart wherever you stand. Heaven trusts you, and that is why your journey has required so much refinement. The emergence of the new you. Chosen one. Pause for a moment and look at where you are now compared to where you started. There's a quiet shift happening in you. You can feel it even if you haven't put it into words yet. You're not reacting like you used to. You're not drawn to what once distracted you. You're not losing yourself in emotions the way you once did. Your spirit feels older somehow, not in age, but in depth. This is the emergence of the new you, a wiser you, a steadier you, a more spiritually aware you, a version of you that doesn't need noise to feel important, attention to feel seen, or validation to feel secure. This version of you knows how to listen. This version of you knows how to wait without breaking. This version of you knows how to stand without demanding recognition. Everything you have endured, every heartbreak, every disappointment, every lesson, every season of pruning, has been molding you into someone capable of carrying real purpose. You are not the same person who walked into those hard seasons. You are more grounded now. You are more sensitive to God's voice. You are more aligned with heaven's rhythm. You are more aware of what matters and what doesn't. The new you is someone heaven can trust with influence, with opportunities, with divine assignments, with breakthrough. This emergence isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It's subtle, sacred, and deeply spiritual. And heaven is smiling on the work being completed in you. Chosen one, you are rising, gently, quietly, but unmistakably. Your spirit is stretching into its true form. You are stepping into alignment with who you were always meant to be. This is not improvement. This is transformation. Closing prayer and final blessing. Chosen one. Before we end this message, I want you to place your hand over your heart, not as a ritual, but as a posture, a moment of agreement between your spirit and heaven. Let me pray over you. Father, I thank you for this chosen one listening right now. You know every detail of their story, every wound, every victory, every silent cry, every unseen act of obedience. And in this moment, I ask that you reveal the fullness of who they are in you. I speak identity over them. Let every false label fall away. Let every lie spoken over them lose its power. Let every belief that came from pain or rejection be broken at its root. Let them see themselves the way you have always seen them: loved, chosen, purposeful, intentional. I speak courage into their spirit. Let boldness rise. Let hesitation fade. Let fear dissolve in the presence of your truth. Give them the strength to step into everything you have designed for them, even when the path looks unfamiliar. Give them confidence not in themselves, but in your faithfulness. I speak growth over their mind. Let clarity replace confusion. Let peace settle where anxiety used to live. Let wisdom guide their decisions. Let discernment protect their steps. I speak transformation over their character. Shape them from the inside out. Make their hearts soft, their spirit humble, their mind steady, their reactions gentle, their posture aligned with heaven. I speak purpose into their life. Reveal assignments. Open doors that no person can shut. Place them exactly where they need to be. Use their presence to influence, heal, uplift, and ignite others. And God, I ask for your blessing to rest on their home, their finances, their dreams, their family, their plans, their future. Let everything connected to them come into divine alignment. Seal this word in their heart. Let it not be stolen, diluted, or forgotten. Let it take root and produce lasting fruit. Chosen one. If this message resonated, if you feel something shifting inside you, I invite you to comment, "I receive it," as a declaration of faith. Speak it out. Write it out. Agree with what heaven has spoken over you today. Before you go, may the Lord bless you. May He lift you. May He cover you. May He guide you. May He strengthen you. May He surround you with His peace. And may He reveal, step by step, the person He always intended you to become. In Jesus' name, amen.